Hi, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hello. It has been 3 years, literally. I checked on my camera when I went to get my SD card out of it, and there was a video on it from 3 years ago, which is my last upload here on this channel on YouTube. So, hello, I'm back on here for a special video today. And if you are still here, hi. It has been a long time. It's not my I didn't leave the internet, but I have a new channel. I have a podcast. I really got into TikTok this year, which we can talk about that. But yeah, I just didn't really know what to do with this anymore because it was kind of like a vlog channel. And then I was experimenting and I was like, I don't know. But I am back for a very special video today that I did promise you guys I was going to make. Also, this is my room. I don't know if you guys have been like this far back before. So, like, this is my couch. The same couch, by the way. If you've been watching my YouTube channel for however long, this is the same couch from a really long time ago. I honestly need a new one, but like, it does the job, right? And like, I'm kind of cheap. You guys know this. I'm a little cheap. I'm not going to lie. And then my bed is back there with my lights and my Christmas trees in front of me. But maybe I'll add like a little clip so you guys can see it because that's what this video is about today. We're doing a Christmas tradition update. So if you've been here on my channel for a while and been watching for a while, let me know. Leave me like a Christmas tree emoji. I'm really curious to see who is still here. It's because it's been so long. But if you have been here for a long time, 10 years ago, I know, a decade ago, well, technically 9 years ago, I posted the video about this, but 10 years ago, I started this tradition that we're going to talk about today. And that is my drunk Christmas tradition. So today, what I thought we could do is we could catch up and I could share with all of you the 10-year journey of tradition because I have kept up with this tradition. I just stopped posting about it. I think I did one video on here in 2014 and it's still up on my channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're new, hi, my name is T. Kyle. You may know me from Legends Only or It's Britney Bitch or my remixes. But back in the day, back in my 20s, I was really active here on YouTube. I was updating every single Saturday, every single week. I was doing vlogs all the time. This YouTube channel, everything is still up here, by the way. I haven't gone back and looked because it's like I'm so much younger and it's just such a different me. It's literally like 26-year-old me. It's so weird. I'm 35 now. Oh, anyway, we can catch up at some point. A lot has happened since then. Long story short, also, I'm just hoping that all of this is working because can I tell you guys, can I confess something here? I went to go record this video and I looked at my camera and I was like, how do you work again? I completely forgot how to use my camera and I was like, oh, oops. So I had to have like a little quick up to speed update and hopefully everything's working. If you're watching this now, we did a good job. We figured it out. Okay, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, 10 years ago, I started this Christmas tradition. There is a video here on my channel, maybe I'll link it below, where I explain the thought process behind this tradition. But essentially, long story short, I was really drunk one night and I just invented this Christmas tradition where every single year I would buy myself a new Christmas ornament that was symbolic of some kind of memory that year that I wanted to remember for the rest of my life. So that every Christmas, when I look at my tree, it's like, oh, look at that. Remember when, you know? And that my whole tree would just be this like Charlie Brown tree of random, eclectic, mismatched ornaments that all have some kind of positive memory to look at. So it really is about making joy and something fun. And yeah, another tradition that I've kind of started since then is I always try to find what I think is like the ugliest Christmas tree. I don't feel like that's totally fair because I feel like my Christmas tree's looking at me and she's like, what do you mean ugly? You're beautiful. But what I'm saying is, I always try to go and find the one that I think no one's gonna buy, right? Like it's very Charlie Brown inspired. I always go to the guy and I'm like, which one do you think's not gonna sell? And this tree, she was so cute. We love her. Last year's tree was like way too small. The year before that was like my favorite tree ever. It was like this really, maybe I'll add like pictures up so you guys can see. But my 2021 tree, she ate. She was like such a Charlie Brown tree. She was so perfect. Then my pandemic tree, 2020, I severely underestimated the size of her. That was not fun getting her out of the apartment. Let's just say that. I don't know what was going on up here when I brought her home. I literally thought she was like a little butterball tree. I bring her home, I set her up, I cut the thing, boom, boom, knocked all the shit off my desk. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like that's pretty much catching everyone up to speed is like, I try and find a Charlie Brown tree every year. And then I buy myself an ornament that is a memory from that year. And here we are 10 years later. Okay, so let's start with 2013. Rewind 10 years ago. It's 2013. Britney Jean just came out. I'm getting ready to go see Britney in Vegas. I go to this holiday party and I get drunk, and everyone there is a couple, and I'm sad because it's the holidays and I don't have anybody. And I'm going home and I think I'm going to invent this tradition. So, what do I get for my first ornament that year? Some of you know, some of you know. I get myself a Bud Light can, not sponsored. And it still has, it's like, I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but it's like frosting because it's chilled, you know? The reasoning behind this is delusional, but I love her. I think she's so cute, and I love a Bud Light. I love a beer. Can you tell? So mask. Just want to pop a beer. That was 2013. Next up for 2014, I love this ornament. This is a work of art. This is from San Francisco. I went to San Francisco that year. I did this like solo trip to San Francisco. I had so much fun. And on the way home, I saw this in one of the gift shops, I think, in the airport. And I just knew that I had to have it. Yeah, it's Postcard Row. It's like the iconic San Francisco buildings. I loved this trip so much. I went to the woods. I went like just exploring everywhere. Ugh. This trip also reminds me so much of the Coldplay album Ghost Stories because I was listening to that on the plane there. And I remember like the sun was setting in the plane window and it was like this beautiful orange glow. And so I think of that every time I see this ornament. She's kind of heavy too. This one hasn't always worked on every single tree because it's got like a lot of weight to it. It looks tiny, but it's a heavy piece. And then it has a stand that you can put it on. So you can like clip these things in here and it will actually like stand. So it almost has like two purposes. It's like a Christmas ornament, but I could also use it as like a Christmas village underneath, you know? Next up is 2015, and this is the last one that I showed you guys. I made a video for this one. It was like year number 3 or something, and I love this ornament. This is my little turtle. So this year I went freelance. I had like a full-time job. I was working at MTV, and I really wanted to try freelancing on my own and like, you know, exploring that. And I did it. And I felt after the 1 year mark, I just felt very resilient after. And so this ornament I got as like a memory of that. Like I can do anything. I'm strong. I don't know. I just love the imagery of sea turtles and also just like the aura and the essence of a sea turtle. It's like a very sensitive, fragile animal, but it has this really hard shell and it hides in its shell for protection. Like very me, honestly. And that's how I felt this year. I was like, I'm a little sea turtle. I think it was actually a necklace or what was it? I got it from somebody on like Etsy. I got it from a jeweler and it's like hand painted. What's also interesting about my ornaments is, as you'll see, like a lot of them are related to work, which is something I think is really interesting as I look back on the past 10 years is a lot of them are related to work. And then there's a shift that happens, which is like, it's more recently, but you guys will see. So just keep a pin in that. But yeah, next ornament. Okay, this one is 2016. And this ornament is my Get ornament. That year was something. Okay. It was like post election 2016. And I went to this art fair that my friend was a seller at. And I saw this, and it was just my mood of the year. Like, I think going into that holiday season, I was just like, a lot of us were. I think a lot of us were just in this like headspace of like, what the, you know? I do remember wanting something to signify that I started working at Watch What Happens Live that year, but there was nothing in Shop by Bravo. So I was like, okay, get, I guess. Also, I don't even know if I can curse on YouTube anymore. I feel like everything now gets flagged, so I might beep myself, but okay, 2017. This one, you guys are gonna know what this is. I don't need to explain what this is. I mean, hello, a weekend chat is a weekend chat. What is on the cover of the weekend chat? My little iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, not sponsored still. This is also the year that I was like posting my weekend chat more. And I was like, oh, I had so much fun with it this year. And I brought it onto a podcast form. And so I made this, I haven't even posted this yet, but like I even made a website back then. And I don't know, never say never. But I made this website, and I was going to make the weekend chat like a Dear Abby situation, where you could go to the weekend chat website and you could submit a question. Someone could like ask me for advice, and I would be like the next Dear Abby. So that's what this was for. Also, I just needed one, right? Like I saw it and I was like, this is so cute. I need you, right? Like I have to have you on my tree. Like, duh. Okay, 2018, she has a collection, okay? And I keep them in this chic little like rainbow chrome case. I've been building this collection over a little while, I think. So this year was the year that I launched the Britney podcast. We launched it in October of 2018, celebrating 20 years of the legendary Britney Spears. I wanted something to celebrate that, and I was so proud of it. I mean, I still am to this day. Like, it's such a huge project that I did, and I'm so proud of it. Taught myself how to, use this microphone and make a podcast, edit a podcast, upload a podcast. And so I wanted to celebrate Britney in 2018 as like the 20-year celebration. So I got a bunch of hit clips, which, if you don't know what that is, back in our day, we had to listen to things like the radio and cassette tapes. Before CD players, we had to download things on Kazaa. But these hit clips are literally like keychains, and they play. So I don't think these work anymore. Nope, she's dead. This is I Will Be There. Iconic. This one is Sometimes, and this one might actually work. Okay, I don't want to get copyright flagged. I don't know how to make her stop. I can't believe this still works. Next up is You Drive Me Crazy. Again, iconic. I don't know if this one works. No, damn it. But like it has the single artwork, which is what I love about them, is it's not like they all have the Baby One More Time album cover. They all have like the single cover. And then we have Baby One More Time. I mean, like, duh, hello, like you need it. Again, the single cover, like this single cover. If you know, you know. This is like the original when it was a paperback single before the album came out. And then last, but absolutely not least, because it's one of the best songs of all time, we have Born to Make You Happy, which got a hit clip. One of the best. Like, this is top 5 Britney songs ever. And yeah, those are my hit clips, and I love them. I tried to get them to work, but like, it's fine. I don't know. I mean, as long as they stay in good condition, it doesn't matter if they play music, duh. But those ones are also really heavy. And so not every tree has been able to hold those ornaments because they're pretty heavy. Next up, we have 2019. All right. So this is a Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon Christmas tree ornament. And I actually bought this on the day that I accepted the job to lead the digital team for The Tonight Show. I went to 30 Rock, I accepted the job, and afterwards I went downstairs to the store. I forget what it's called, but like something store, like maybe NBC store. And there were Christmas ornaments there, and it was like a week before Christmas. And so I was just like really proud of myself. And that year I had been through kind of like a personal and professional renaissance, if you will. I just felt really good. Like everything was good. My health was good. My career was like taking off. I had gotten this huge opportunity, got the job, like interviewed for the job, got the job. It was such a huge moment for me, and I wanted to remember that. And little did I know that just 7 weeks later, the entire world would shut down. So yeah, this ornament is very much the Kyle Richards meme. We were all so happy that day. It's so hard to imagine just how terrible things would soon become. Yeah, this guy has only been on my tree 1 year, and that was 2019. But yeah, this is its own story. Because I mean, if you have only been following my channel on here, my last video was October of 2020. So like, I have not done any kind of update on here since then. But I don't know, maybe one day. The entire year of 2020 in itself is still something that I feel I am processing in 2023. Like even looking at the videos that I did during 2020 on here. Speaking of 2020, let me show you the ornament that I got for 2020. Okay, so this ornament is loud, so I'm going to try not to move it. As you can, she's really loud. So in 2020, I stayed here in New York City. I did not have anywhere else to go, so I just hunkered down in my apartment here. And I stayed here through the entire year. And something that happened that year, not that anything about 2020 was good. There was like nothing positive about that at all. But for me, as someone who tries to be an optimist, one of the things that was really special about that year was with everyone leaving the city and there being no tourists, my community, like this neighborhood, I live in Hell's Kitchen, everyone really started to get to know each other. And so you would see the same people every single morning when you would go to get coffee, and the deli people that I would get breakfast from, because, you know, you wanted to keep supporting all of the local businesses in the area. So I would like hop around, you know, grab a beer to go from here, grab a cheeseburger from over there, go get some bacon and eggs, go to this coffee shop, and just, you know, try to spread business throughout the neighborhood, as everyone here was really struggling because there was no tourists. So when it came to finding a Christmas ornament, I wanted something that was like New York, like classic New York. And I felt like if I just got like an I Heart New York ornament, that was like too expected. So I went to the tourist shop. I don't even know what they're called. It's like tourist things, collectibles, etc. That is next to one of the Dunkin' Donuts that I go to. And I saw this New York apple ornament. Literally, there was no one there. Like, there was no tourists. So I think they closed down in like 2021. I don't think they made it that long, but there's now dozens. It is back in full swing. Trust me. If anyone lives in New York who's watching this video, you know, there is no shortage of tourists. There is plenty. They actually just opened a bunch more of these collectible shops down the block. And I'm just like, really? What happened to all the restaurants? Like, there was this one really cool bar that was like on this corner, and they turned it into a tourist shop with all the like super bright lights. So yeah, that was 2020. Now let's get on to 2021. All right, so this year is a little bit of like the true, if you know that Wendy meme, you get what I'm saying. So 2021 was an interesting year. Okay, so the year starts off, and I was quitting my job at the time, which was the job that was an ornament that I showed you earlier. And the day that I was going to resign from that job was actually January 6th, which we all know what happened on that day. So I'm in therapy that morning and it's on my screen in front of me and it's on mute. We're in therapy. She's talking me through it because she was like, okay, this is what you're gonna say. This is how we're watching it. And she's like, do you see what's happening right now? And I'm like, yeah, I've got it on the TV in the background. So I'm in therapy while January 6th is happening. And I said to her, I'm like, I can't quit my job after this. Like, I can't like hang up the phone and then be like, hey, everyone, I'm resigning on like the day that January 6th is happening. So delayed that for like a hot second. And eventually, like a month later, I would resign. And I really went through this like moment of WTF did I just do? Did I just ruin my life? I think anyone can kind of have that experience, like whether you leave a relationship, you leave a job, you move to a new city, like that moment where you're like, oh my God, did I just ruin my life? And I was still going on my walks in Central Park every single morning. And I saw this lady, one of the days I saw this lady and she was feeding birds like out of her hand. And I was like, interesting. That's kind of cute. So I went to the shop and I got sunflower seeds and I brought them to the park. And I went to the park this one day and I was like really feeling down in this, like, I have the video of it. Maybe I'll post it on here. But I was really going through it on this specific day. And as I was walking, I heard this bird calling to me. It was like chirping, chirping, chirping really loud. And it was a red cardinal, which is a male cardinal. Cardinals are like very skittish. They will not normally come near you. Like it's not a friend. I mean, most birds don't, except pigeons. Like pigeons will fly on you. They'll literally peck your eyes out. But cardinals, no. So I'm standing there and I go into my pocket and I'm thinking like I'm going to throw the seeds at this bird. But this bird flew to me. It flew onto my hand. It flew like right into my hand and was just chilling there. And I have the video up literally the first time it happened. And it was like magic. It was just like, it felt like magic. And that would start what was a months long journey for me. Has anyone here ever seen the Netflix movie, My Octopus Teacher? It was very that vibes. Now, I won't spoil what happens, but essentially the story of that is there's this guy and he goes diving every single day and he has this little baby octopus friend that starts to recognize him and swim to him. And yeah, it's just like, it's this really sweet moment that he captured all on camera for this documentary. So this is like my version of that because this turned into me going to the park every single day at the same time. And eventually, as time went on, we would literally meet at the same spot at the same time. There was a specific corner that I would turn. And as I would start to cut the corner, I would hear the chirp, like it would just chirp, chirp. It's a very specific, loud, high-pitched chirp. I would cut the corner and he would fly down and would jump like on the little fence. And he would always be so excited. And he would actually like fly onto my shoulder. That's the one thing I wish that I'd gotten a video of because obviously you would only see the bird. Oh, let me show. Well, if you didn't get the hint at this point, the ornament is a cardinal. But yeah, it was just like so magical. It was every day at 11:30 a.m. And it really gave me a feeling of purpose and meaning at a moment when mentally I was like not doing well because I don't know, for some reason I handled the pandemic really well, like mentally really well and physically really well. I was on top of my routines. I stayed healthy. And in 2021, everything just kind of fell apart for a minute there. But this bird was like my joy and it was like such a light. And every single day I went, it was just like magic. I have videos on my Instagram. I can share more on here if you guys want more of that story. That was a rough year for me personally, mentally, and physically because that was the year that I got injured and I downplayed that injury a lot because I don't know, I was just doing so good and I thought if I ignored it, it would go away, which here's my lesson for all of you, not to sound like a mom, but if something in your body is hurting, don't sleep it off. Go call your doctor, try to set something up because you will make it worse, which is what I did. So I injured my foot And I, like an idiot, kept pushing through it, and I made it worse and I made it worse and I made it worse. But I'm doing better now. I went to physical therapy. I did 4 months of physical therapy. So it's better now, but rough. So my ornament for that year is this very cute felt handmade. I got this on Etsy from an artist, and it is a little cardinal, and it is so cute. It's like a little plushy cardinal. And this is in honor of Bird Friend. That's what I called him. I'm just like, it's Bird Friend. And yeah, this one was tough because I got injured in the summer and I couldn't make it out that far to the specific spot in the park anymore. And so I stopped going. And then as my foot started to get a little better, there was like a couple days where I was able to make it out, and Bird Friend was gone. Either like he stopped showing up, or I don't know. I can't even think about it. I have to stop talking about it. One thing I'm not going to do on the internet is cry anymore. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? But yeah, this is like probably the most special ornament that I have on my tree because it's just magical and it reminds me of this like beautiful connection that I had with nature. And I don't know if it was like a spirit guide or an angel or like a guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. You can call me crazy if you want. I don't give a Oh, I don't think I can curse. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. Some people said I was weird. Some people would DM me and they're like, you're going to get the bird flu. And I'm like, if you looked up cardinals and you looked up the science behind it, they don't even carry bird flu, you fucking idiot. But don't talk about Bird Friend like that, first of all. And second of all, I've been kind of gatekeeping this lately because I don't know what's going on with people online, but like people are just negative and like judgmental. And I've started to like gatekeep the things that bring me joy. And it's really working for me. So, but I will tell you guys on here because you guys get it. There's a second Bird Friend. It's Bird Friend 2, as I call him. He's in a different spot. He's in a spot that's actually like really populated. So I don't know. It's not on the level where like we're meeting at the same time every single day, but he does recognize me. He will fly to me and it's super cute. And I don't know, maybe I'll put like another video up here. It's just magical. My little bird friend. And it's also so interesting because like I don't like birds. Like if you guys have been following me, I've been on YouTube for like a long time. Have you ever like there's no but yeah, we love him, and I hope that this is like my favorite ornament ever. Not, I mean, the Britney hit clips are up there, but like this one just has like this one hits me in the gut. This one hits me in the soul. This one hits me in the spirit. Okay, next year, 2022. Okay, so at this point, things are much better with the pandemic around the world. And one of the things that was happening in 2022 was the return of the crowd at the US Open, the Grand Slam tennis tournament here in New York City. And Serena Williams, who, if you did not know, she is probably my number one biggest inspiration, like in life in general, just overall. I would sob if I ever met her. We don't need to get into it right now because I'm already feeling the emotions trickling up from the last ornament that I just shared. But anywho, Serena Williams announces that she's going to retire at the US Open. And I'm like, I have to go. I have to go opening night because if she loses, I will never forgive myself for missing it. So I go to opening night. And what was also really special about this was I got to go with my friend Will, who I went to college with. We were actually hall neighbors. I lived on one side. He literally lived across from me. I went to college here in the city. I went to FIT, which stands for Fashion Institute of Technology. And no, I did not get a fashion sense, but I did learn technology and I graduated with a bachelor's of fine arts in graphic design. But yeah, I lived in the dorms and across the hall was my friend Will. We actually met because I put Britney on my door and he put Beyonce on his door. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gay. You're gay. Let's be friends. And Will was actually my first gay friend, like not like that, you know what I mean? And because I feel like if you know, like it's hard to make other gay friends, you know? Like right now I have my podcast with Brad and it's just so nice to have a friend who's also a friend. You know what I'm saying? And so Will was my first, I was like 18 years old. I never had like another gay friend, and we lived across the hall. We were RAs together in the dorms, and we've continued to stay in touch all these years later. And I texted him and I was like, Serena's going to retire. Will you come with me to opening night? My treat. Like, let's just go and celebrate being here and being in New York, all of the above. So we meet up and we go, and it was one of the most special nights of my life. It was like sitting there watching Serena Williams with my college best friend all these years later in New York City. It was a beautiful, if you've ever been to the US Open, even if you don't like tennis, it's such an electric energy. You go and you get your little, drink and your pretzel, and everyone there that night was there for Serena. Like, I'm sorry to the girl that she played, who she beat. She did win the opening round. We thought that she was like gonna pull, like a stunt. Like, it was just, we thought she was gonna show up and lose, and there was gonna be the ceremony and all of that. So we were nervous. So, because they also handed us these signs that were under the seats. And I was like, oh my God, she's gonna, like, this is just a ceremony. Like, this is just a moment. But she won. So the entire crowd was like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, she's not going down without a fight. And it was just such a nice night. There was also this couple that was in front of us, and they had their kid. And it was like, you could just see the different generations of viewers there. Like, there was my generation, younger kids, and then like people who are, the generation above us. There was all different kinds of generations who have watched Serena play for over 20 years. And it was like, and like we got to hold up little signs that say like, we love you, Serena. So my ornament for that year is this little US Open tennis ball with the US Open logo on it. I don't know if you guys can see the sparkle, but it's like green, like a tennis ball. Yeah, this is just to symbolize one of the most special nights ever. I felt so grateful to be there that night. It was like to grow up watching her. And I mean, if you've been following here at all, I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but like, I never missed a Grand Slam. So when I was in college, I would like stay up until 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to watch the French Open, the Australian Open. In my 20s, like, I did not miss a match, and she's been my biggest inspiration. So I needed to memorialize that with this cute little ornament. I also got a t-shirt, but can't hang that on. I mean, you could hang that on the tree, but like I kept that in a good spot. The graphic design that year was like also impeccable. So I got a t-shirt, and yeah, that was my 2022 ornament. And she didn't win that year. She lost in the third round, but I got to see it live. I got to see opening night. I got to see the iconic final sparkly black dress. And yeah, her husband also follows me on Instagram, which, not to sound like a flex, but like kind of a flex. And then finally for 2023, this is a fun one. This is my ornament for 2023. This has two meanings. So if you've been following me everywhere else, you know that I started making music production, and I released my first original song this year. It's called I'm Coming Down Your Chimney. And this kind of looks like the cover art, but it's also disco balls. And so like, it's also silver disco balls. So it's very Renaissance World Tour, which I also got to go see that this year. So this has double meaning. It's two birds with one stone, right? We've got Renaissance World Tour and my single. I can separate them if I want. I can keep them together if I want, because I couldn't find any neon pink ones. So I was like, silver ones. And I kind of made like a little bit of a brand with my single cover. I wanted something that was memorable, that people would be able to like recreate or like take a picture and show me and like share it. I think I succeeded with that. This is the graphic designer jumping out. Yeah, this is my ornament for 2023. And it's a fun one. This one's not as emotional as, but like Renaissance World Tour. So good. If you listen to my podcast, Legends Only, we did like a whole review of the tour, the movie. One of the best shows I have ever witnessed in my life. Not sponsored, but if you need to go see the movie, like you need to go see the movie. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but if it is, go see it. If not, whenever hopefully she drops a live album. And that is all for my 10 years of Christmas ornaments, my originally drunk Christmas tradition that has continued for a full decade. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of the ornaments. And thank you for being here if you're still watching. If you made it here, hello. It's been nice to kind of dust the cobwebs off a little bit. It's interesting because I'm rusty doing this, but I'm not rusty talking to myself in my room. Like with my podcast, I did like Salt Lake City recaps and I record meme content all the time. So I'm constantly recording stuff here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like dusting the cobwebs off. People have also asked, what about the weekend chat? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess the question would be for you guys, like, what would you be interested in watching? Or are you even still here on YouTube? Because I know a lot of people are over on TikTok, and I am having a lot of fun on TikTok. I make remixes, I do edits there. But yeah, it's been fun to kind of like sit here and catch up. I always watch YouTube still. I don't know about you guys, but I still keep up. I watch Jaclyn Hill. I watch AZ for Angela. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a fabulous holiday, a Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, or maybe you don't celebrate. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, or if this is finding you days, weeks later, I hope that you're having a nice day. If you want to keep up with me, I have my weekly podcast. It's called Legends Only. And you can find me there. You can also find me on TikTok at @TKyle, where I make ridiculous remixes and memes and mashups and things like that. And I'm also on Instagram at @TKyle as well. Pretty much abandoned X, Twitter, whatever she is now. Also have a very happy new year. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys more on here in 2024. What do you guys think? People have asked for a video version of Legends Only, which is not off the table. Maybe I'm warming up. Maybe this is like a good practice of like, what do we have to do I also had to relearn the camera. I was like, oh, I hope when I plug this in, this works, because I just was like, F it. Never say never. I like pop in, I pop out. I never really like go away. I just kind of like shift. I feel like Hilary Duff said, metamorphosis, whatever it is. I just kind of mold and shift with the times and what I'm interested in, what I'm feeling. And yeah, so much has changed since the last time I did a video. I started making music. Literally, if you watch my last video vlog on here, that version of me that is in that video, if you showed him Logic Pro, he would be like, what the f is this? What are you talking about? Music. Because it would only be like a couple months later that I started learning. The pandemic is the reason why I started learning. I started learning at the end of 2020 because I was like, what am I going to do for the holidays? I'm going to sit here by myself and do nothing. Fast forward to 2023, I have 2 official remixes out and an original song. I can't believe it, but we're here. And if you joined me, thank you. I hope you're doing well. And say hi in the comments below. I'm going to be in the comments below. I'm going to check all of them. Also, I'm going to include this at the end, but I just like filmed myself like doing all the ornaments up close. And I was losing my mind at the fact that there were 11 ornaments. And I was like, wait, but it's been 10 years. I'm confused. What's happening here? Did I miss a year? But there's 11 ornaments over 10 years. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That doesn't make any sense. I feel like the algebra meme. Oh, now I'm really excited because you guys probably have not heard this in a long time. My outro music, I still have it. It is still there. It is still iconic. Now I get to roll the iconic weekend chat outro. So thank you guys again for stopping by. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye guys. It's Brittany, bitch. Shake your tits. Dunkin' Donuts.